Welcome everyone to another episode of the Warmup. I'm here with the guys. It's me, man, Chris C's. We got Reg, allegedly, and we also have Mr. No Comment in the building. Say what's up to everyone who is checking in this episode, guys.
Hey.
Hey, what's good, man? Welcome back.
Cool. Happy New Year.
So happy to be here.
Oh, okay.
I could have came in here with the same energy you got. I'm alright to be here. I just want to say I'm happy.
So I mean, you didn't ask me how I was doing. I asked you how you was doing. So
okay, now I said I'm happy.
I mean, it didn't sound happy.
Yikes.
It sounded like you was just kind of like indifferent, like you just got paid what you asked for after almost.
A little bit too late.
I don't think any of us asked for this pay.
Oh, okay.
Slow.
Oh, okay. All right, man. But you still got a job though. You still got a job though.
Not the job I wanted.
But it is the job you wanted, and for the price you got asked for. That you asked for right now.
We'll get into it.
Okay. All right. So
that price, man.
I mean, it's not as expensive as they would have paid him if he gave it to him like earlier in the season. But whatever. Money's still money, man. You know what I'm saying? They still good. Anyways, let's talk about it, man. This is a place where we talk about sports, current events, and things in between through the lens of Black culture, man. We're here every Wednesday, so feel free to check us out on YouTube, Spotify, Anchor, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, wherever you get your favorite podcasts. We're there. So, and if we're not there, let us know, man. We'll be more than happy to get it on that platform so you can not have to stray too far away from your destination. We also have a social media platform, Instagram and what's the other one? Twitter, which is Grindhouse NTWK. We have a Reddit, Grindhouse NTWK, and we finally have a Discord where we have a homegrown community, just talking about sports and things of that nature. Man, it's a public server. You can feel free to invite yourself or look at the link in the description boxes on the page or in the description of the episode. And again, that is a Grindhouse network. So yeah, check us out on the social media side of things. If you like what you hear, give us a like, thumbs up, follow, subscribe, tell a friend and tell a friend. All that stuff, man, it'll make everyone have a better chance, who hasn't heard from us, to hear from us. You know what I'm saying? They may get a chance to run into us as the algorithm puts us more in favor. So, anything else that you guys want to add?
I think you summed it up, man.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Look like you lost 100 pounds, man. So, man, let's get right into it.
See me
coming in looking like a Slim Reaper.
100 pounds gone.
So, let's get right into it, man. First, I guess the biggest news out the gate from the NBA side of things, it dropped last week, was essentially Ime Udoka, man. He got dropped or at least suspended indefinitely for a year for content that is detrimental to the team's policies and organizational policies, essentially. But they didn't just say it like that. They said the whole beans. He was having a consensual relationship with a lady who is on the staff of the Boston Celtics. And so this got a lot of buzz because of the fact that it's a year-long suspension, so he's not even going to be here. I don't think he was even there for media day. I guess he couldn't be there for media day. But anyways, he's not coaching for this upcoming season for the NBA. Boston Celtics are without a coach. I think they have their interim head coach is going to be their assistant coach, who is, let me make sure I had this right. It is Joe Mazzulla.
So it's not even the assistant coach from last season.
Yeah,
I think that coach went on to Jazz. You were saying.
Yeah. So.
Oh wow.
This is the next guy.
Yeah. This is secretary. No. So.
Wow.
Hey, too soon.
Hey.
Too soon.
So.
Fire.
It's just a lot of dirty laundry. So I can go ahead and unpack it now, but I'm gonna go ahead and pass it off to Mr. Mr. No Comment. I'm gonna say Mr. Can't Do Right. Mr. No Comment.
And get right. Get right.
Oh, man.
I'm that baby's daddy.
So yeah, man. Like, what's going on, man? Is this fair for the Boston Celtics to do what they did with respects to how they handle it and what the results were?
It's a tough question. Nobody really knows except for Kendrick Perkins. Mr. Nostradamus, aka Mr. TMZ.
Matt Barnes too.
Oh yeah, Mr. Becky with the good hair?
Oh, Maddie with the good hair, man.
Maddie with the good.
It was killing me because Twitter was saying like the way that Matt Barnes came out and apologized and said it was way worse. He's like, this is the guy that drove to go fight Derek Fisher, saying it's way worse. This has got to be the worst.
Yeah,
I thought the same thing, bro. Because Matt Barnes took it to the next level with that, man. He was going to defend his house, defend his ex against her current boyfriend.
I know.
Dude, I don't know, man, because there's so much stuff we don't know. I like what Vera said in the pre-pod. Can you really blame the team? They really try to keep it limited. It's a big organization. Leaks happen. And they weren't able to massage those leaks because they were coming out rapid fire, man. And ESPN picked it up a whole lot quicker than they picked up Brett Favre. A whole lot quicker than Brett Favre picked up the welfare checks too, right?
Wow.
I don't know. He got them checks.
I don't know. Those expedient. Yeah. Expeditiously.
ESPN beat him to the punch on that. I don't know, man. It's like, I keep hearing consensual. That's two people involved. And then you hear unwanted advances, which there's only X amount of outcomes from that. Either relationship ended. She was like, I'm good on you. And he was like, nah, babe, this is still going down. Tonight, 7 o'clock, whatever. Assuming he said that, right? Or it was still going on when people found out. She didn't like the noise around it and then said that statement, right? Either way, since the unwanted advances is out now, there's no way the Celtics can penalize her. Like,
it was unwanted comments or something like that.
Yeah, unwanted comments.
Yeah. I think, how can you really, if you're the organization, your employee comes to you and she says, yes, it was, allegedly was consensual in the beginning. Now, unwanted comments, meaning that it had to end at some point, right? Maybe those comments were good at one point, now ended. Could you really penalize both parties? Because I've seen other articles that said the organization knew about the relationship, consensual, cool. And you really come down on her when she says, hey, unwanted comments, like, I'm the victim here.
Well, they said they found out about all of this in July when she came forward saying that there was unwanted comments being made. So
that's the first time they knew about the relationship?
That's what they claimed. That's what they said. I don't know. And even with the like, you know, there is the school of thought that they are the masterminds leaking the information for whatever reason. If you believe that, then yeah, boo on them for mishandling it. But I don't know. It's also two separate things. They could have still been in a consensual relationship when the unwanted comments were made. Consensual relationship and unwanted comments is two separate things.
But if you're in a consensual relationship, why would you go and tell
that
your job that unwanted comments are coming from my babe, my boo?
Yeah.
You know, like,
I'm saying that probably made the if it wasn't over before that, it probably put some perspective on that situationship. But I mean, like, you know, maybe it was something where they were hooking up on the side, you know, team travel, she travel, it's all good. And then, you know, maybe he's feeling it more than she is and he's making comments in the workplace. And that can make her uncomfortable. You could be in a relationship, but not be over here.
That's true.
Yeah. So we really don't know. There's not enough information to make a lot of assumptions, but it doesn't sound good. And even when they're talking about what punishments are and what they're for, it's kind of vague. Is he being punished for the relationship? Then I think maybe both parties should be punished if that's the case. But if he's being punished for the comments, or maybe there's additional violations, like, we really don't know anything that's going on.
Yeah,
I think it's tough because some of those details don't deserve to get out because it's already damaged. That is definitely damage done to him. Yeah. Damage done to multiple women in the organization who were either involved or not involved, just based off the rumors.
Yeah. So do you think it's fair, Rich?
What?
Did you the results and kind of how they handled it?
I mean,
just kind of how things.
I don't think the results are fair to anybody, to be honest. Like maybe they're fair to him, like if he did if what he did was that egregious, but it doesn't even seem within their organization they thought it was that egregious, because they should have just fired him.
Yeah,
that was the case. So I don't know who it's fair to. I mean, I don't know the nature of the relationship. We don't know who it is. Even having a relationship in the workplace, if they did know about it, letting it go on, is it his direct subordinate? Like, there's all kind of things that be going wrong with the situation.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's fair. I don't think it was handled greatly. Who to place that blame on is a developing story, in my opinion.
Yeah, I kind of agree. I mean, I don't know if it's fair or not. I don't like how they handled it, though. They totally fumbled the ball on this one. A butt punt, if you will. So shout out to Miami.
Sanchez.
No, you didn't see that. No, not that the butt punt. It happened this week 3, but you gotta check it out. You gotta check it out. So that was also a safety. So there was a lot of safety things happening in week 3. But yeah, no, this is just I feel that if I was a representative, or maybe that's just that corporation or that organization, I would think that the standard would be that you don't talk about stuff outside the organization. That okay, that's fine. That's a leak. Leaks are just basically rumors until it's confirmed, right? Oh, rumor that blah blah blah. Hey man, we team policy violated it. You go sit down, right? I do agree that if you're gonna suspend him, like just if he did violate something on that nature and it was that egregious. If it was a non-consensual relationship, or a relationship that was no longer consensual and he made unwanted comments, then that could be kind of looked at as harassment. And I don't think you want that person in your organization anyway. Like, why would you suspend him, right?
Yeah.
If it was a consensual relationship and he said something unwanted, and maybe again, the way that they use these verbiages, it sounds very like loophole. Like there's a lot of
wiggle room.
Yeah, there's a lot of wiggle room. It's all about syntax or semantics or whatever. And you can
way worse than it sounds. It can be not as heavy as it sounds.
Yeah. And so, again, we don't know what all happened. This could have been someone said something in hearsay, like overheard it, and then went to HR. And then HR came and investigated and said, "Oh yeah, he did say something. He did say that." And you can't say, "Well, he did say this, and I wanted it." I mean, I guess you could say that, but the way that
could be one of them details we don't know. But I believe the report said that she filed the complaint.
Yeah, maybe.
Somebody filed the complaint on her behalf.
Can I play devil's advocate on this for a second?
Sure, go for it.
Ahead, man.
All right, since it's on the internet, right? You Google Ime, and this other person, Kathleen Nemo Lynch, name pops up around him, right?
Sure.
So she's what is she? She has something to do with like travel affairs, but she's married to a senior vice president within the Celtics organization, right? So one rumor is that the affair was with her, right? She's married to a senior exec. She was married to, I don't know, man, a mailman. She was married to a manager at Ford. I don't think it would be a big issue. Mm-hmm. But the fact that she's married to, I would assume his boss, or in that hierarchy of bosses above him. Mm-hmm. That's a big deal. You have unwanted comments, you have embarrassment, right? You have all these things. So that's a layered thing, and that kind of goes into what Matt Barnes said about it. It's heavy. Mm-hmm. So that's that thing. One thing factual we can talk about, once again, like you guys said, we don't have all the details, but this suspension is the same as Big Son's Robert Sarver suspension. Mm-hmm. One levied by the NBA, one levied by the Boston Celtics. Mm-hmm. Different, I got that, but you know what Sarver did? He got a 1 year from the NBA. We don't quite know the details of Udoka's. He's getting the same suspension in the Celtics. It's just, the details are going to come out, man. People can't keep their mouths closed.
I feel like Sarver had a history of whatever his behavior was, so maybe that could be a little bit worse, depending on whatever the violation is that Udoka made.
Udoka.
So, I don't know. Udoka. Sudoku. Anyway, yeah, I don't know, man. It's a tough situation.
So do you guys feel that the lady in question, anonymous lady in question, should also have been, I guess, punished in some kind of way as well? Considering it, even if it was consensual at one point, and then at one point it wasn't. Let's just say that that's the case.
I think
it's based on the policies.
Yeah, I think if the punishment is based on that there was a relationship at the workplace and that was the violation, then yes, I believe both parties should be punished. If it's something else, then
okay. You do the same thing, Mr. No Comment?
Yeah, if it's based on you can't have a relationship with somebody within the organization, or there's restrictions based on your position and title, and yeah, both people definitely need to be penalized. But if it's just Udoka on the unwanted comments, then he's the one that said the unwanted comments. I said them however they came out.
Got you. Okay, all right. So y'all think go ahead. You just what?
On a basketball sense, one, like, their lives are just messed up now, right? The fact that Nia Long was en route to Boston to relocate, right? And he knew about this in July that it was going to come out. Like, that's,
you think she knew in July?
Nah, she was. I assume not, because she was.
So you thought? You think that it was just gonna be a violation? He got suspended, and he was gonna be like, "I'm at home sitting on the couch playing video games for a year."
I'm on sabbatical for a year.
Hey man, why you don't go to games? Ain't your team playing tonight?
No, they don't want to make sure that you good to go. I want to be here for you and support you.
That was one thing I was gonna say earlier when we were talking about conspiracy theories. There's also a school of thought that people was just like, well, maybe he leaked it out that it was consensual to try and get it ahead of this.
Maybe. We don't know. It's anonymous. It's a leak.
If there's some allegation that there's something non-consensual, if some early news breaks out that it was consensual, and you confuse the court of public opinion, it can help your case. So that's another school of thought.
That's that would be, that's a defensive play for sure. Because
now that's the narrative. That's already the narrative set. That whatever was going on at some point it was consensual.
It's already ironed in.
We don't even know that, but that's the narrative that's already set.
All right.
This dude is went from playing in the finals his first year. I don't even think
Brad Stevens.
I don't even think Kerr went to the finals his first year.
Kerr? No. Yes, he did.
Nah, it wasn't his first year.
Yeah, he did. It was his first year.
Rookie year?
They went to the finals and lost. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So, but it's a tough act to do, right?
Yeah.
Especially with how they started and how they ended. To go from like one of the you were the cream of the crop of coaches, and now you're outside the NBA. Yeah. That's wow.
All right, so let me say that this is according to Woj, the golden boy from ESPN. He mentioned that Sharania, which I think is
Sham Charania.
Yeah, from the Athletics, reported that Ime Udoka violated the team's code of conduct by engaging in an improper, intimate, and consensual relationship with a female staffer. So this ain't about comments. This is about having.
That's from Woj and Shams.
Mm-hmm. No,
Boy,
no, it's from. So Woj made one comment and then said later that night, Shams said something else.
Oh wait, hold on. So you talking about the initial reporting?
It just says here, reports of impeding discipline from Udoka first surfaced Wednesday night when Woj reported that Boston has been contemplating a suspension for Udoka.
Yeah, that's how it broke.
Yeah.
For some team policy violation, there wasn't no additional. Then Shams comes up behind and said allegedly, or I don't even know if he used allegedly, but he said apparently there was some kind of consensual relationship, yada yada.
Yeah. So.
Oh, that's different.
Yeah. So that's why
That's what I'm saying.
I'm
like,
just
so that's why I was like, it's not like the Celtics came out here and put out a press release saying, "Oh, this is what happened." Like, that's what I'm saying. It's all confusing. Now, if you believe that the Celtics somehow was, because companies do this. Oh yeah, we leaked this, or like this thing got leaked, but they leaked it. They're the one that put it out there. It wasn't an accident. It was kind of a way to accomplish some kind of goal. So if you believe that the Celtics did that, yeah, they deserve all the blame. But the way that this story broke was through woes from a anonymous source, followed by Shams with additional details from an anonymous source.
Yeah. Well, the one thing I wanted to point out on this as well was the reason, at least the verbiage says, code of conduct that was violated by engaging in an improper, intimate, and consensual relationship, not making unwanted comments. So if that's true,
That's from Shams.
yeah, that's from Shams. So if that's true, should all parties involved be suspended, or is it just?
That's true, but when they was sitting there talking on the stage, they didn't really put it out there like that. They made it seem like there was multiple policies being violated, and only one. I think he wasn't supposed to comment, but I think he kind of slipped the tongue and kind of alluded to that only one person was being punished. So that
there's multiple policies. That means that one's wrapped up into multiple, right?
Maybe
that could be true.
Maybe that's part of it. Maybe it's just like you did 1, 2, and third strike all in once. This other person, maybe they violated something, but you did a couple things.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing, though. All right, let's look at it this way from a PR standpoint. If you're the Celtics organization and that came out, they're not supposed to date, but they dated. Both parties guilty. You do the investigation. Comes out, she says, hey, but yeah, I know I did this improper relationship, but unwanted comments. Sexual harassment. I think it falls into sexual harassment, right?
Could be.
As a Celtics organization, unwanted comments, it could possibly fall in that realm.
Because you could also just harass. You could harass me at work, not sexually. You be like, yo,
that's true.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't know what the comments were.
That's right. So let's stick with that. You're right. Unwanted comments. Can you imagine a PR failure that could come if they did suspend her and she says, "Oh, I told them about unwanted comments and they let me go"?
Yeah, I could see that. But so unless you're saying she got ahead of it, but then if it was consensual, why she had to get ahead of it? Because I think she self-reported that there was unwanted comments. There wasn't anybody saying like, "Oh, this is a big deal." Like,
no, I'm not saying that. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying she reports. Then, to Chris' point, Celtics find out, oh, this is a relationship. This is against company policy. Cameron, both of y'all. She's like, oh, no. I can't use this unwanted comments.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. So you're saying like she went and reported for the comments. They started doing some digging. It's like, oh, y'all in a relationship. And then they put 2 to 2 together. But now it's just like you came to HR for a violation. If we fire you, it seems like retaliation.
It's
huge.
It's like calling police.
I can understand the political climate we're in. That could happen, but I feel like in the long term of things, I don't agree with that. Just because, like, if you snitch on yourself for doing something you really wasn't supposed to do, we can't do anything. So I'm gonna just go steal from the register and be like, hey man, I stole from the register. And now because I came to you saying I stole from the register, I can't get fired?
Nah, it's not the same thing. I see what you're saying, but it's not the same thing. It's the cloak of unwanted comments against a woman, right? She's a woman. She said this guy, man in position, made unwanted comments towards me.
I get
the climate. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. I get 100% what you're saying, but I'm just saying, like, on the pure ethical standards of it, I don't like this. It's like, let's say, let me change that example. I'll give a bad example. Let's say I reported my $100 went missing. Like, I think an employee stole my $100, and during the investigation, they found out I stole that $100 from the register. Now they can't fire me. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, it gets into a situation. I understand why, and it's gonna have to be like that for a while, as we get on the right side of things in history. But in the long term, I would like to see all parties know that I have the power to not be in a relationship. I have the autonomy to not be in a relationship at work. And I should not be in a relationship at work if it violates company guidelines. Whether you're a man, woman, hetero, cis, whatever you want to call it. I think that's where we should go. But I understand why it's not handled like that right now. There's a power dynamic. There's a lot of intricacies involved.
Yeah. All right. Well, yeah, we'll definitely keep an eye on this because I mean, this is going to definitely impact it. This is why I kind of want to ask you guys. Y'all think they're gonna make it to the playoffs now? The C's.
So I was talking to somebody who was a fan. I was just like, oh yeah, this won't be a big deal. And then I thought about it, and I was just like, you remember when Kerr was out for like a game or two, and Larry Brown took over?
Mike Brown.
Mike with Larry Brown, Mike Brown, and how poorly they performed.
Yeah.
They've been clicking all season, all into the postseason. Now this is starting from the jump. You don't have the next guy up. You got the next guy up. I don't know, man. It might be a wrap.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, because I think Udoka had the swag to challenge Tatum. You know what I'm saying? Like, he took it to Tatum. I think calling him out and calling out Smart, he had the swag to do that, man. I don't think new dude is able to, has a gravitas to do that, man.
I don't know. He could be like a David Fizdale. He could be like a David Fizdale. He was an assistant coach and he unlocked LeBron and D Wade in Miami. He could be that guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he did that in an assistant coach capacity. He didn't do it as the head coach.
True.
I mean, okay. I'm just trying to. Hey, I like it. I like it. You know, we can go ahead and get some controversy started before the NBA season, so we can hold on to that. We hold on to that.
Hold on.
Hold on to not making to the playoffs or.
Oh wait, the playoffs?
I think they'll make it to the playoffs. I think just the talent enough they have is enough to get it to the playoffs.
Okay.
Brooklyn Nets made it to the playoffs. Talent can get you there.
Okay, but they out the first round.
We'll
Second.
see.
Second round. Okay, second round we'll see. Okay, close enough for me.
I won't say we'll see. I believe the first round, but I feel like if I say the first round, I feel like I'm coming off as a hater.
Nah.
I said how I felt about the Celtics these past few seasons, and other people on this podcast have seen like some shining like glimmer of like the future and all this other kind of stuff. I'm like, this is a team that LeBron blocked. I mean, dunked on, or what was it was the block, fouled his way out of years back.
You mean the block?
You mean block?
Was
a young Tatum.
And also that's a block.
It was I think it was Terry that blocked it, and they Terry was about to dunk it and LeBron fouled him. That's what
it was a block, man. It was recorded as a block.
It was recorded as a block. Factual.
Okay. That's what we're going with.
Recorded as a block. All of us with eyes, y'all go ahead and watch the highlight.
I mean, the highlight.
You sound like Skip Bayless right now, Reg.
Hey, I mean, he went on to lose against the Warriors. They got swept, but it was a phenomenal play from LeBron. Even going into the next one. So not to take away from the King, but like the play is the play. Like they don't got to be hating to call out the truth.
Oh, okay.
Do that.
But they haven't really grown that much from my perspective. They haven't they've grown individually since there, but I'm just saying like as a collective, as a team, they never had like, okay, this is the team that could win it all. I feel like even last year when they got there was a lot of circumstances that allowed it.
You did mention that.
And those people are going to be healthy this year. You're not going to play a Bucks with no Chris Middleton again, most likely, and more likely than not. That's what I'm saying.
Only thing that held them back last year, they had a good defense. So it was that offense, right? They don't facilitate. They got Malcolm Brogdon to help them out with that. They had Gallinari, who's a good point forward, but he's out for the season.
Really already? Oh man!
And I think they tried. Yeah. I think they tried to claim like Tatum was injured or something like that last year, like after the fact, like 10 months later. But I just feel as though they made it to the finals. Like you can't take that away from them. But looking at the path they got there, that same path doesn't exist again. The Heat are not going to all be injured. The Bucks are not going to all be injured. The Brooklyn Nets are not going to be easily swept in the first round 2 years back to back. I don't foresee it. Ben Simmons is allegedly healthy. He didn't even play last year in the playoffs. Like all of these things that happened that allow what happened last year are not going to happen again. So now take away the head coach on top of that.
Hey man, what they need to start doing is setting these leaks out in Brooklyn and send them to Milwaukee, Miami. Just get some of these leaks going. Get these.
Woj and Shams just need to go go team to team and just stir up some controversy.
Yeah, man. Shake the tree. See what falls out.
You seen it hop team to team like an IG model?
Oh, whoa,
Wow.
whoa. Are you calling that Ice Spice or no?
We support IG models.
I support all women, not just IG models.
I concur.
So, all right, well, let's keep a pin in that and let's keep it pushing, man, to the next thing. NBA season's about to start. Well, preseason is about to start, man. NBA Media Day, which is the first official sign that we are getting into the preseason. So, of course, there's a lot of hot takes, a lot of, funny things that come out of it. So we're just going to dissect a couple of the things because, what I'm saying, we haven't heard from some of these players and we want to know what they're thinking, man. The first thing first, man. Woo. Deandre Ayton, boy, that boy had to claw his way to get the little bit of money that he felt like he deserved. He didn't get the whole max that he wanted because Phoenix Suns were acting like Martin Payne and were just not trying to get married. And when Indiana came through, they were like, "Fine, I'll marry you, man." So after the whole "Are you happy now?" phase, Ayton got proposed with the question of like, "Oh man, you got your money, man. How do you feel?" I feel elated. I feel happy. The most unenthused, yes, I'm happy.
Nah, he didn't use them positive words. He said, "I'm all right." Even if he used positive words, but he was unenthused, you could kind of navigate that. He said, "I'm all right."
It seemed like a very short response. So his media trading told him no comment. But that was the way he how he went ahead and went about that. And on top of that, he said he has not spoken with Monty Williams since getting benched. So gonna be a little awkward starting the season off, man. Do y'all think DeAndre Ayton is going to stay with the Suns throughout the season, or is he gonna get traded eventually before the year's out?
I think he'll stay there without the comments. With the comments, I think even more that he'll stay there. I think he understands it's a business. He may not be happy about the decision, but he, at least based on his words, seems like he's mentally prepared to put in the work. He said himself, like, once I'm between those lines, like, I got a franchise on my front, on my chest that I gotta represent, and I got a name on my back I gotta represent, and I'm gonna handle business. That's how it came across. He may not be happy about it, he may not be high-fiving, but I think he's gonna put in the work.
Okay. You feel the same way? Let me just ask it in a different way, man. Do you feel like this team is gonna stay together long enough to be successful? We already know Jay Crowder's on his way out.
That's gonna be a tough blow.
So, what about you? No comment.
Bruh, it's like NWA after Cube left, bruh. Nah, they're not making a run. Maybe a decent regular season team, but we're talking about a team that one-legged Luka put out the playoffs, bruh. I don't see them making a run long term. We know Ayton has the talent. He reminds me of Andrew Bynum back in the day. You got the talent. Is your mind in the game today? If it is, you a beast, i.e. the finals run. If it's not, you're not a beast, i.e. getting out-rebounded by the Dallas Mavericks and you're the tallest dude on the court, right? This depends on how he's feeling. Jay Crowder's a key reserve. You were talking about, you want him back in Memphis, right? He's a key reserve, man. This dude went from Miami, finals, Phoenix, finals. He's a solid dude. He wants out. And they had the whole trade rumors with Kevin Durant. Like, that kind of shook up the younger players who hadn't been involved in trade rumors yet, who hadn't had to deal with the business side. Like, campaigns that we found out about it, he was shook. He didn't want to leave Phoenix. That's his words that came out, right? So he was happy they didn't go through. So is the team going to stay together? They're keeping Ayton. They gave him the bag. He ain't going nowhere. They keep him booked. He's a star. TP ain't going nowhere. They're gonna have those three. TP's getting older. You need other players to step up, man. What are they going to replace Crowder with? Is a key question. And is Ayton? Reg, I hear what you're saying. He's going to play for his family name. He's going to play for the team. But didn't he kind of do that last season?
Well, I think the difference is here. I think you made a great point about Andrew Bynum, but I feel like unlike Andrew Bynum, he doesn't seem to be bothered by the process of being like involved in basketball. He seems to have a love for the basketball part of it. I think the business side of it kind of soured him. And that kind of leaked into like, business side slash relational side of it. Like, y'all don't believe in me. Like, y'all are not like coming out for me, stepping up to me. And that kind of put like a damper, maybe it got in his head on how much effort he puts in on the court. Now his money is straight. Like, he may not like the situation or how it came to be. His money is there. But I think now that like, it's not something that's actively on his mind. What it is what it is. So I think he can put it behind him. I think last season, like, it was active. It was fresh on his mind. What's going on? They're not paying me. I feel like I'm busting my ass. What's going on? So I feel like it's a little bit different. Andrew Bynum, he just seemed like he was cool just getting money. Like, he didn't really love it. He didn't really love basketball. He didn't really care about his name. He didn't really care about the franchise.
Yeah.
That's how it came across.
I don't know. The media day opening, man, it seemed like Ayton's over, bro. Like, he's done. Hey, I asked you to marry me a couple of times. You said no twice. And when I go and see somebody else, is when you want me back. Nobody wants to be the plan B. And I think they made him definitely feel like the plan B. For real. So I hear what you're saying, but it's been reported that Ayton is an emotional guy that can be good and bad. That's been reported on. And if he's in his feelings about that, which is understandable, because, dude, he was a key cog in taking them to the finals. Ayton. People didn't have answers for him in the playoffs. That's gonna be tough, man. If he's not on board, because he's got to pick up the production from Paul's decline. I think he's gonna be the key one. Not Campaign, not Bridges, whoever they get for Crowder, which that's an interesting question for maybe for another show. It's got to be Ayton, man. He has to pick up the production. And is he capable? Hell yeah. Does he have the will to for Phoenix? You see what happened with Ben when he fell out of love with Philly? But we really haven't seen what happened with Ben. We haven't seen him on the court. But
no, I mean, but in terms of we know what happened with Ben in Philly, we do know that. So that's a fair remark. Like, once you soured that relationship inside the walls, like, you can say I can understand that.
Yeah. So I think, to be honest with you, this is already a fractured relationship. Go ahead and get your money's worth from him. Get the assets. I mean, to me, it seems like if anything, they just they kick the can down the road until they can find a suitor to get him out of there. I don't know if I think Jay Crowder actually is. That's critical. Like, you don't have your muscle, and everyone else are shooters and flashy people, bro. Like, they're not going to fight. You know what I mean? So Jay Crowder was that guy.
And he was giving you some of that shooting too.
And he just kind of had that balance, that even kill attitude. So I just don't know who's going to replace him. I mean, I guess you can get a Morris twin, but there's not.
They always they stay injured though.
Yeah, well, because they keep talking, man, or doing some dirty stuff, man, and they get pushed and start flopping. So yeah, that's okay. But I do think this ship has sailed. So long. Hopefully, Chris Paul finds another player, another team to get him a championship. But I don't think it's gonna be in Phoenix.
I think it's interesting what y'all bring up with Ayton too. Like, coach still ain't reached out to him. Like, they knew they was signing.
Yeah.
That goes. I mean, unless he's been screening the calls and he didn't share that tidbit of information, that's a bad reflection on coach.
Yeah, I mean,
especially when it's supposed to has a high emotional IQ, that Monty has. I feel like, Chris, to your point, coach is always the first one to go to right the ship because it's the quickest, easiest move.
Yeah.
So my question is, do they get rid of Monty?
I hope not. Did you call him Mr. Bubble MVP Coach of the Year for winning 8 straight in Disneyland?
Oh yeah, the team was Dude,
so,
they were solid.
See,
I think he won Coach of the Year. He was in the running for sure.
He was in the run. I don't think he won.
I think Thibodeau won.
Yeah, because
Can't remember.
Because Julius Randle, man, looked great.
That one hot season, bro.
Hey.
At West, it's kind of like Aiden, man. That one hot season so far.
Maybe they can do the trade Julius Randle for Ayton.
What kind of trade is that?
That's a great trade.
Yeah.
All right, well, we'll see, man. Hopefully they don't do as well as they did last season, so that makes more space for the Grizzlies to be number one. But that's just me being biased.
Y'all lost Desmond Bain, all right?
No, we didn't lose Desmond Bain. We didn't lose.
somebody.
We lost DeAnthony Melton.
Oh yeah.
I feel like y'all lost somebody.
And we picked up.
I don't know what
We picked
Jaren
up.
Jackson out for, man. Chris is holding on to information like.
We
Y'all
picked.
lost
Celtics.
slow mo. That's what I'm thinking. Like y'all lost slow mo.
Oh yeah, we lost him, but we
Yeah.
picked up Danny
Oh,
Brooks.
yeah.
We picked up Danny. I say Danny Brooks. Danny Green.
Green?
Picked up Danny Green.
I mean, he has his moments.
He's a 3-and-D guy. He comes off the bench.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Y'all got Danny Green.
Yeah. So, anyways,
So
man,
who's
don't worry.
Philly have now?
Who does Philly have now? They got James Harden. He's lost 100 pounds, allegedly.
New me.
So that means are
They
we
lost Danny too, man.
are we getting back into good old fashioned productive James Harden before the hamstring and fat suit?
Fat suit. Wow.
Well, I mean, I assume that he was always lean. He was withholding. He was just trying to see what y'all gonna say.
I think so.
You think he lost 100 pounds? Okay.
I think so.
Okay.
Nah, that dude did not lose 100 pounds,
He
bro.
lost 100 pounds of dead weight. He said Kyrie no longer on his mind. He don't got to worry about the vaccine. He don't got to worry about what's the new drama for today. He lost a lot of weight.
Wow.
All up here in his head.
That's what he meant. Okay.
He had problems.
That's
He had
what
some
meant.
problems.
Okay. That's what you agree with that, Mr. No comment, or you gonna not comment?
I mean, yeah, he feels better being in Philly, but as far as the actual weight loss, that dude didn't lose 100 pounds. As far as him being better, think about him in Houston, man. James was never a quick dude. You think about small guards that are quick. James is more, the fouls. He was strong.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody talks about how strong Harden was.
But he looks strong
has
now.
to do with that base, huh?
He looks strong now.
I mean, you could be strong and light, man. It's different than being strong and heavy.
He looks strong. He looks strong and medium. He lost some of that weight, but he also picked up a lot of muscle. He doesn't look as slim as he was on Rockets. Is what I'm trying to say.
Got
No, I'm
you.
saying I think he was a little doing those like MVP caliber years. He wasn't small.
Yeah, but he looks like he specifically put on muscle. Like he lost some of the
baby fat.
but he put on some muscle. So he's not as big as he was when he's just purely fat, but he was not as lean as he was, like you said, in his MVP year. That's how he stood, at least the last I've seen it. Somewhere in between.
Yeah. So
It should definitely help his hammies and stuff like that, man. Just less weight, less impact, right? Strengthening up that
Kawhi.
leg, that should help.
You saw they've been talking about Kawhi and his leg workout, so maybe they worked out together.
nah, Kawhi
I
had
don't know
2
if that's a good
years.
thing or bad thing.
I was gonna say Kawhi had 2 years to work out. James Harden had a half an off season. So
Yeah. If anything, he should be working out with PG. PG came back and continued to play.
so
Why? I don't know, man.
So-
I think
Now
Kawhi just has to be
they're
ready.
saying as of late in the offseason, he got his legs like strengthened up.
oh, okay. I guess. So y'all think we gonna have the old James Harden back, or we gonna get the old James
It's something
Harden?
new. You never gonna have the old nothing. The old is done. You're gonna have something different. Whatever it
Is it
is,
a
you're gonna have to
different
take it. Yeah, it's different.
okay.
And it's
Is it-
not better, not worse. It's gonna be different.
Is it gonna be good different or bad different?
We'll see. To be deep.
See, you know, you love to hedge your
He's
bets,
middle of the
man.
ground.
He's so man.
Middle of
I mean,
the ground guy, man.
it can't be worse.
It can be worse.
I don't think so.
Alright.
In terms of like, if he's conditioned, if he's better conditioned,
Yeah,
you
okay.
can't be worse than being unconditioned.
All right, James
Like
Winston.
I expect less injuries. I expect less fatigue. But I don't know how quick he's gonna be with that muscle. I don't know how that's gonna be.
Man, I ain't never heard a person give me a non-answer as detailed as that. So
What you mean?
Politics, bro.
You said is it better or worse? And I said it can't be worse.
is it better? Is it better?
Yeah, it's better.
Why just say that?
It's better to be conditioned. I gotta tell you, it's better to be conditioned than not be conditioned, Chris. You need to hear that.
All right, that's fine. I asked you a question. You told me what it's not.
Okay, so the question is, are you talking about Rockets? Are you talking about Rockets Harden? Or are you talking about Nets Harden?
Are we going to see?
But compared to what?
Are we going to see the? Do you understand the question? No comment, because do you understand the question I'm asking?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it's like return of Steph. Like Steph was injured. Is he gonna be the same after KD left? All this stuff, man. Dude was back. We asked the same question with Clay. That question, the answer is still to be determined, right? He's not the old Clay. Not yet.
I feel like Steph is better.
He is better. So he's.
I don't know if I can.
Steph plus.
I don't know if I could say Harden will be better than like that Curry, that first championship Curry. I don't know if Harden will be better than that Rockets Harden. I don't think.
Nah, he won't.
But I expect him to be better than that Brooklyn and especially that Philly run Harden.
Okay.
I expect him to be better than that.
Okay. Thank you for clarifying. That's what I was trying to get at. Thank you.
You know what? I think it'll be if he could get back to the first Brooklyn year, Harden, when
he ended up
16
getting
games
injured.
to play together, whatever.
Yeah.
When he was like an actual MVP candidate.
Mm-hmm. I know what you're talking about.
Get back to that, bro.
But he was hella out of shape then.
He was, and the hamstring.
Yeah, he caught up with him in the season.
Yeah.
If he can get to that and be better.
Skill wise, you saying if he can get back to that skill set that he was showing.
The production that he was putting out.
Yeah.
He's a scorer. If you're not scoring, then what are you doing? Yeah.
No, I mean it was more than the scoring though. He was also facilitating a lot. His assist numbers that kind of went up, like almost like a whole assist per game.
Yeah. So
maybe even 2 if I remember correctly. So
okay, all right. Well, we'll see.
It ain't really got to do with conditioning though, so we'll see still.
Okay, all right.
But those playoff flame offs, man. When he gets tired, all of a sudden, like if eating Campbell soup like Donovan McNabb in the Super Bowl, man.
You start making tired decisions instead of smart decisions.
He's getting tired.
Exactly.
Weary decisions.
Yeah.
Weathered. So okay, yeah, all right, that's cool. We'll keep an eye on that too. You know, James Harden's gonna be in the news because either he's gonna be doing well or he's not, and we're gonna be talking about it. Last but not least, man, the Brooklyn Nets. Maybe we always gotta talk about New York somehow because they have very mediocre franchises across all sports. Shout out to Aaron Judge, by the way. And
did he get 61?
I don't think he got it. I think
still chasing. Okay.
Yeah, I think they just clinched though. They clinched. So anywho.
Oh, good.
So KD, Kyrie, Ben, they all talking. They talking about the trade.
So Ben's not jumping out of he's in the group text now.
He could be talking on a separate thread. They're not talking collectively together.
He a green bubble. He in the chat that like his messenger was coming last.
I don't know, man.
Always be looking all messed up.
I don't know what bubble he got, but I do know that people talking now. That's good. We haven't heard from him in like 2 years. I thought he forgot how to speak to the media.
That's true. That's true, man.
You know, KD talked about the whole trade situation, and you know how the owners know who they have. Like they know who I am. Yeah, we heard this coming before. They know who I am. We know who I am. They're not gonna just trade me for nothing. Which I don't understand. Kyrie's like, oh yeah, the trade situation about him. Like people had offers, but he took a little personal about, you know, the fact that they don't really see his commitment. They just want to know he's committed. They don't see it, and there was the hesitancy. And then Ben Simmons just talked about how now in reflecting in Philadelphia, he can understand why folks were looking at it a certain kind of way with respect to how he passed.
I missed the Kyrie one. So Kyrie said he took offense to the fact that
teams were interested in him, but they were cautious because of his level of commitment to playing.
And he said that they didn't see it.
Are you talking about where he was specifically offended about how the vaccine became a big deal, or his general level of commitment?
Just him being connected and being plugged in and actually being available to play, being, you know, just that kind of, you know, Kyrie was going off. He like, oh, I got this thing I got to do. I'm going off and doing this thing. And
He said he didn't understand why there was a question.
He said part of him did not understand. Another part of it was, but he understood that was the perspective that people were having, even though he may have not really understood where it was coming from, because he felt like he was plugged in. Oh, I'm on a Zoom chat. I'm doing this. Like, I'm connected with the team. Anywho, look.
Oh my God!
They talking. This is media day. Look. Do y'all look? The real question, because they still gotta figure this thing out with Steve Nash. It's because someone said Steve Nash was a bad coach. They didn't say the media day, but they would like fire Steve Nash, or we saw all of the trade stuff. But anywho, this past summer.
Yeah.
So, question, man, can they put this thing together and make something that's gonna be productive to make a deep run?
I think me and Kev was on alignment on this one. Like, Steve Nash seemed like the type of whatever.
Mm-hmm.
That's generally his media day answer is like, families fight. Be all right. That's really what it seemed like. I don't know if y'all saw it different, but it was very like water under the bridge. We're looking on moving forward. We knew there was gonna be a conversation. We had the conversations. We're all here. Kevin seems on board. There's no animosity. Now people are starting to talk. Transparency's coming out. I think, like, when you start seeing people be real quiet, that's when there's issues. Something's is going on, real quiet. There's an issue. After the fact, when people has it out, they're still not talking. There's still some issues there, like y'all were saying. So I think when people start talking about what they were going through and where they're heading, that's a good sign that people are clicking and they're comfortable and they're on the same page. So
Gotcha. Okay.
I think between Ben Simmons talking, Kyrie talking, KD talking, Steve Nash talking, I think they're moving in the right direction at least.
Okay. So like the Jackson 5. All right. No comment. You got comment?
I wholeheartedly disagree with what Reg said, man. They talking, but they're not moving forward, bro. Kyrie doesn't even understand why teams had an issue with his commitment level. Like, that's like the obvious thing. It's so easy. I think.
But he's been over.
I'm not even talking about the vaccine stand. Even the season before, before COVID was a thing, he was in and out. So for him not to understand why teams are worried about his commitment level leads me to think that he's gonna have that same train of thought going into next season with the Nets, right? That would be a concern.
That's a fair point, but can I ask a question?
Yeah.
When has that not been Kyrie?
Cleveland. Only time he was out was when he was injured. He was not in and out for like personal reasons.
No. I'm not talking about the in and out and personal reasons. I'm talking about being kind of like oblivious to what's going around. I want to be on my own team.
After Cleveland.
He was on Cleveland before LeBron came there.
But
and we knew where he was. Where was he going without LeBron when he was in Cleveland by himself? And it was his team.
All right. Good point. Let me clarify. Cleveland. Like those years, that's the best Kyrie we've seen.
Yeah, but again, we're talking about the basketball, on the court stuff. Even on the Nets, when he was present, the on the court stuff, he's still Kyrie. That's what I'm saying. Like, this has always been Kyrie. He's kind of. I
disagree.
He has very interesting opinions. He has very interesting opinions about what's going on around outside of him. Like, his perspective is very different. But when it comes to on the court, I feel like he's had the same level of on the court commitment all these years.
Nah, I disagree. Okay. In Cleveland under LeBron, the only time he was not on the court was if he was injured.
Yeah.
Since then, there's been multiple reasons why, outside of injury, he's not on the court. And I'm excluding the vaccine stuff.
Okay, I see.
I'm excluding all that.
We're talking two different. Okay, I see. You're talking about the off the court stuff that leads to him being off the court.
Yes.
Me personally, I feel like his confidence grew a little bit, and to be able, like, you're a rookie, you come into this thing, you just now getting money, you just now get acclimated. I feel like those situations that pulled him off the court and his confidence to not feel like he needs this job, I guess, to quote unquote, to put it that way, that's what changed it. So I feel like that was always that Kyrie was always been this way, but now he just feels as though like he has the means to enact his mindset. That's what I think changed. I don't think he's changed. I think his circumstances changed.
Y'all changed. He ain't changed.
Exactly. You think we changed. I think again, I feel like his way of viewing how everybody else sees going on is very interesting. I don't think anybody match up with what he thinks.
No, that's true. But that's not my point. It's his commitment to the game. Like I feel like under LeBron, whether it was LeBron keeping him grounded, that team, this different situation, whatever it was, the only reason he was not on the court was due to injury. Outside of LeBron, multiple reasons why he's not playing outside the court. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just speaking strictly on commitment, not how he thinks, not all of that stuff. It's his commitment to the team and to the game. Let me just say to being on the court, because I think his commitment to the game shows in his skill set.
Yeah.
His commitment to being on the court.
I just feel like whatever brought him off the court in these past few seasons just wasn't there at the time, and he probably didn't feel as established to be able to do that.
I mean,
when you're on your rookie contract,
from LeBron,
yeah,
are you in or you out?
Yeah, when you're on your rookie contract, you probably don't feel like, why do I need to be here? Now that you've been getting a lot of money for a long time, So I don't know. I hear what you're saying. I just feel like those circumstances, like he didn't get introduced to the religion at that point. If you're talking Ramadan, George Floyd wasn't going on at that time. If you're talking about social justice, so those things just weren't happening. So to be like, oh, something with him changed, or was it just, I don't know, was it just these things weren't happening?
I mean, it's things that happened in LeBron stayed on the court. Not compare those two together, but my whole thing is the statement of he doesn't understand why teams question his commitment is wild to me.
Even go back again, you're going back to, you said go way back. People didn't understand why he didn't stick around in Cleveland, even though LeBron didn't re-sign, which is probably what kind of led him. But they had another year they could have ran it back together. He wasn't committed to that.
That's true, but he was still on the court. Even in Boston, I think he missed games because of injury.
He was injured.
It wasn't the Nets. He started missing games because it's that third, fourth, and fifth. And the George Floyd thing happened in 2020. I think he was already with the Nets. I think he was still missing games for like some issue, even COVID. Then he was showing up at like a family member's birthday party. I'm not saying which one's more important. My point is commitment to playing on the court, to being on the court, availability. That's been
shaky,
lackluster.
I hear you.
Yeah.
I just feel like I don't know if these same things would have happened back then if it would have been different.
Interesting. All right. So yeah, we don't know, man.
What do you think? What do you think, Chris?
I mean, I think I'm probably more, man. You know what? This is kind of probably one of the tougher questions because there's so many variables. To be honest with you, I think that they are probably going to figure this out. I don't think they'll be as good as they think they're going to be. Maybe Ben Simmons comes off the bench. Maybe Kyrie takes off 10, 15 games this year. Maybe Kevin Durant, Kevin Durant's going to do whatever he's going to do, but maybe he doesn't, he checks out if, he feels like he's not getting the type of attention he wants from the staff, coaching or whatever, or he feel like he's carrying a bunch of bombs. I know he didn't say that, but he may feel a certain kind of way. Like there's just a lot of variables that can happen, and they still not playing no defense.
I mean, Ben's supposed to help with the defense, and I feel like KD's been injured at least once every season.
Yeah, so he's been
on the court more than not.
He has.
He's definitely been on the court more than not. Yeah. But he's also been injured,
and he's only getting older, so you're not going to not get less injuries. But to be fair, he has been mainly he's been in them 80% of the games. Yep. 75 to 80% of the games. So I'm not
Nash answer. Play him for 60 minutes.
Yeah.
The Nash, the game doesn't last.
See, but it's what I'm saying. Like, you can't do that, man. And so, and they still, like I said, they still haven't figured out their defensive problems. Ben Simmons, okay, fine, but now you got Ben Simmons who don't shoot. So
He also didn't they have their other shooter was kind of injured?
Joe Harris.
Yeah.
Okay, they can get him. They get him back. He's been out for a year. He's gonna take some time for him to get up to speed again.
Yeah. So I mean, they have things going on in their favor.
So I'm
It's a
just
starting
saying.
lineup.
I don't know.
They got Kyrie at the point, Joe at the 2, Kevin at small, Ben at power forward, Nick Claxton at center.
Yeah, I think that's gonna work. I mean, I don't know. I like Claxton. I don't know Joe Harris.
I like Claxton.
I don't know this year's Joe Harris because he's coming off an injury.
Yeah.
So
I think it works until you get to the playoffs when you get the big centers that can move, your Embiids, your Jokers, your Aytons when he's engaged, right? Claxton can't keep up with them. They're tall, but they're skinny. You know, the rebounds.
They still have DeAndre Jordan
in his back. Is he gonna really fight for rebounds right now? Who knows?
DeAndre Jordan is no longer there. He's got traded.
So who's their backup there?
I don't know.
They got Markieff Morris, and they have Royce O'Neal, who's more of a small forward.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they're gonna be challenged by the teams that y'all brought up, like going against Jokic and B.
Even Adebayo.
Yeah, Adebayo, and even
Robert Williams,
like
when he's healthy,
having a journeyman like Steve Adams that can like really muscle with the big guys. Like,
I forgot about that.
They're gonna have an issue at the size.
So yeah. No, we'll see.
Because Claxton's lanky.
He is.
He ain't that strong.
He's not.
Yeah.
Hey, they got the bubble MVP on the team.
We haven't talked about him in 2 years.
You talking about dude from the Pacers?
The bubble's been about 2 years.
Yeah, so we haven't talked about him. TJ Warren.
TJ Warren.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Dude from the Pacers.
Yeah.
He was on the Pacers when y'all was regarding him as the bubble.
I don't know why I thought you said Oladipo, but yeah.
Nah, Oladipo in Miami.
Yeah, he's still there.
Yeah.
Taking over Mike Lowry's spot.
Is he in better shape?
I don't know. You gotta see. Did you see Media Day with the Miami Heat? Did you see it?
Nah.
You just do the weight check-in with Pat Riley?
Nah, I didn't see that.
Was he out here grabbing people's sides? Trying to see.
Was he doing that? I didn't see that.
I don't know. I'm asking you. You the resident.
I didn't hear anything come out of that camp for Media Day.
Oh, okay.
Bro, I don't know. That sounds so racist, man. I can see Pat having these black men on a scale, and he's like,
oh, man.
body fat.
Look at this physique. Kyle, take a good look.
Yeah.
You're not in cotton picking shape.
You're not in cotton picking shape. What?
It sounds so racist. I had a vision of them on a scale in a stage in front of an audience in Wade.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? But I know in actuality, I like Miami's culture. I like, be in shape, play the game. I like that. I like that Heat mentality.
You sound like you've been hanging out in Carolina too long. You started going to some of those auctions.
Right. I mean, hey, Carolina is an interesting place.
Yeah, it is. All right, man. Let's go ahead and wrap this up, man. We've hit the 1 hour mark, so let's go ahead and get our sign offs. Mr. Allegedly Reg. Allegedly, what you got?
Hey, thanks for rocking with us. Hope you enjoyed this episode. Hoping to enjoy a really good NBA season. NFL has been good so far, so hopefully NBA can just add to that. See if they can resolve some of this drama and see a competitive season in both the West and the East. So looking forward to that. Like, follow, subscribe. Thanks for rocking with us.
Cool. Mr. No Comment.
Just had a trivia, just a quick factoid. I seen a lot of news about how the Warriors recruited Kevin Durant. It's like a whole audio story version of this stuff now, right? How they recruited him to come play, why do y'all want me, all this, that, and the third. So I started looking up how other teams recruited key people. And back in the day, the Baltimore Colts, when they had Johnny Unitas, Bro, they made 80-cent long distance calls to reach out to Johnny U, get him to sign with the Colts, man. They even sent them care packages, get him to sign, man. And at that time, that was an aggressive recruitment process. So it's just funny how long we've come. We've come from making just long distance calls and selling packages to sending the entire starting lineup to the Hamptons to recruit somebody, you know? So we've come a long way. Or when DeAndre Jordan left the Clippers and signed with the Mavs, and the entire team hopped on a plane and fly to Dallas and sit outside his house to get him to come back to the Clippers. Come a long way.
It just sounded like Johnny Unitas was not playing hardball. He should have been playing harder. Like care packages.
He jumped on a bus.
Yeah. Care package. What is this? Like, at least buy me a house. So, but yeah. So that's interesting. I didn't know that. I didn't know that was who recorded that. There was no internet. The long distance calls cost $1 a minute.
80 cents.
80 cents.
80 cents, which had to be a lot back then.
I'm sure it was. Just for inflation, I'm sure it's like $5 a minute.
It gotta be.
So, oh man. All right, well that's cool. I didn't know that. So, did they win a championship off of that?
Yeah, they won a championship.
Well,
Johnny U.
Well, then according to some people, then it's all worth it. So, all right.
Hey, is a Toronto Raptors championship worth it?
Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta ask them. Personally, it's not. It don't mean much to me. So you gotta ask them. You gotta ask Canada. You gotta ask Canada.
Let me ask you a question.
Here we go.
If Memphis made some moves and they ended up getting a championship one year, was it worth it?
Depends on how they went.
They had to give up Jaren Jackson.
It depends.
Because even that Raptors team, after they got their win, they still have a pretty solid core.
They did.
I mean, they didn't make it deep in the playoffs that year, and this past year they did even worse. So as you can see, the fallout from making that kind of a short, mortgage in the house. Yeah, you're gonna be in the dark for a little while. So again, if you're okay with that, go for it.
Some teams be like that for a while and they never got the chip. So
I agree. So are you talking?
Jazz? Look at the Jazz.
Whoa! The Jazz actually homegrown most of their talent. Derek Favors and Donovan Mitchell. Joe Ingles,
Gordon Hayward.
I understand
but
Rockets. I understand what you're saying, that they homegrown and all that, but I'm saying they didn't, like you said, they didn't bet the house to get the chip, right? And I'm saying they still found themselves in the situation that you talked about.
Okay, and some people bet the house to get the chip and still don't make it. Look at Brooklyn Nets with the Paul Pierce and Kevin Garnett fiasco.
So you're saying for your Grizzlies, if they had the opportunity to bet the house, you wouldn't want them to do it?
We're not mortgaging homes over here just to get one championship. What's the cost? So you basically trying to say what's the cost of a championship? To me, it's not that.
I'm saying
it's not.
You still might pay that cost. Obviously, what I'm saying is you still might pay that cost. No, because eventually, no matter how much homegrown you have, you're gonna get to a period where you have it, like you acquire the talent homegrown, and you hit the salary cap, and you figure out we got to retool and you got to do a rebuild. So whether you do it all at once to get the chip, or you try to do it over time and you end up having your salary's too heavy anyway, it's going to happen eventually. All franchises will meet this point.
I'm trying to think, what's the last team to win a chip with homegrown talent? Warriors. Before them,
who was the last one to do it? I mean, Spurs did it. Detroit Pistons did it. Mm-hmm. Lakers kind of did it. I mean, if you want to,
they got Shaq.
Well, if you want to go back to the Showtime Lakers, it was the Showtime Lakers.
Oh, okay. Going back. Okay, you're not talking about the last run.
So, I mean, you're not
talking about the AD Lakers.
No.
Okay.
Bulls did it. I mean, I'm just trying to. I'm
But
just.
you going too
Dallas
far
Mavericks
back.
did it.
Yeah,
We talking about recent history. You going back to like Showtime.
You said it was the last time, but I gave out the more recent ones, right? The
I mean,
Spurs,
the Spurs and the Warriors. Are the only two.
Spurs, Warriors,
Yeah.
Pistons were homegrown.
I mean, that's going back,
So,
but it's true. It's
Yeah,
true.
it's just a little bit far back.
yeah. I mean, there's a lot of teams who made it to the finals.
The Bucks.
Bucks did it.
Actually, you know what? That's a good case study
Bucks
right
did
there.
it, yeah.
Homegrown talent versus the free agent talent winning the championship. That's I might look into that.
So, I mean, but a lot of that's, there are some that were manufactured. Obviously, the Lakers were probably also one of those people. But yeah, I don't think
The
there's.
Lakers, the Warriors also fall in that group with Kevin Durant.
Yeah.
I would still call that Warriors team. Man.
Well, he was such a big piece and such a big balance of power. That's the reason why people can probably make the argument. I mean, on both sides. I get what you're saying as well.
Because you're like, first of all, it was already homegrown before you got there, and they didn't have to bet the house to get KD.
And then they didn't have to bet that. Yeah, see what I'm saying? That's that. So there was a lot of people, a lot of teams that did. There's a lot of teams that didn't. There's a lot of teams that, I mean, obviously the free agency was different also back in the 90s. So 90s and before, before the 90s, it was, this is your team. We play when you tell you to. So
Yeah.
it was a little bit different, but yeah. Anywho, man, if you like what you heard, man, please follow, like, subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend, pass it along, and do all this such, so then we can keep giving you this hot fire. So we're here every Wednesday. So until next Wednesday, guys, deuces.
Later.
I love it.